So a big weekend awaits us from the Emirates FA Cup in England to the Spanish La Liga in Spain and then the Italian Serie A. Now let me take you through some matches that will be coming up this weekend. First of all, let's start off from England because the Emirates FA Cup has entered their fourth round. Now Liverpool are set to take on Brighton and Hove Albion in the fourth round of the Emirates FA Cup. Hopefully Liverpool will hope to bounce back in the Emirates FA Cup and then hopefully win it this time around. But they are coming up against another interesting side, Brighton and Hove Albion, a club that has been that we've seen some kind of consistency within them. Looking at their matches for the past few games, and so it's just going to be a tricky one for Liverpool, especially coming into this particular game playing at Anfield. Liverpool have not really had the best of season winning games at Anfield, and then coming up against a team like Brighton and Hove Albion will be a big one for them, hoping to grab all maximum points and then hopefully qualifying to the next round of the competition. But let's look at other matches that will be coming up in the Emirates FA Cup. Chelsea will be coming up against Hull City. Now, there is a little bit of history in this particular game because head coach for Chelsea, Rosenior, he was once a player for Hull City, and this time around he will be the head coach for Chelsea, and as he leads them to play against Hull City in the Emirates FA Cup, and that is a fourth round. And this time around he will be playing away, so at the backyard of Hull City. So there's going to be a whole lot of memories heading into this particular game for Rosenior, who is now the head coach for Chelsea. But let's talk about Arsenal because they are also in the competition and then they will also be playing in the fourth round of the Emirates FA Cup. So Arsenal at this moment will be at home. They will face Wigan Athletic in the Emirates FA Cup. Probably people should call this one an easy one for Arsenal. Hopefully, after their 1-1 draw against Brentford in the Premier League this during the midweek actions. But let's see how things go for Arsenal. Hopefully, they can qualify to the next stage of the competition. But there is no way you can talk about Arsenal without talking about Manchester City because Manchester City were also in the fourth round of the Emirates FA Cup. At this moment, they will be at home against Salford City in the fourth round at the Etihad Stadium. Hopefully, this should be an easy match for Manchester City, just like Arsenal. Hopefully, they can qualify to the next stage of the next stage of the Emirates FA Cup. But other matches, let's look at other matches that has to do with Aston Villa and then Newcastle United. Now, for these two sides, this has been another two teams that has been consistent when it comes to the English Premier League and then the Emirates FA Cup also. So this is also another big game that will be coming up in the Emirates FA Cup. So let's see who wins this particular encounter that is coming up between Aston Villa and then Newcastle United. But let's switch off from the Emirates FA Cup. Let's do some Spanish La Liga because the Spanish La Liga is also up here. I mean, after Barcelona lost by 4-0 to Atletico Madrid this weekend, then they will hope to make amends and then grab all maximum 3 points at this particular moment. So Atletico Madrid, they will be in action against Rayo Vallecano in the Spanish La Liga. They'll be playing as an away team in this particular match. And then Real Madrid will also be in action. Same thing. Real Madrid will be coming up against Real Sociedad in the Spanish La Liga. Real Madrid will be at home. Remember, Real Sociedad, they defeated Athletic Bilbao by 1-0 in the Spanish Copa del Rey first leg. For Real Madrid, they are out of the competition, so there's going to be that much full concentration in the Spanish La Liga and then hopefully the UEFA Champions League this season. So let's look at other matches also becoming up. Barcelona will also be facing Girona away from home. So Barcelona, after their 4-0 defeat to Atletico Madrid, will hope to bounce back and then make amends in this particular fixture coming up against Girona in the Spanish La Liga. Now, let's move away from the Spanish La Liga. Let's talk about the German Bundesliga because Bayern Munich and then Borussia Dortmund, these two teams are also vying up in the top seats of the German Bundesliga. Borussia Dortmund will be at home. They will face Mainz, and then Bayern Munich will be at home. Away from home, they will also be facing Werder Bremen in this particular encounter. So big matches coming up in the German Bundesliga at this moment. Mönchengladbach will also be facing Eintracht Frankfurt in this particular encounter. And so it's just going to be a very, very cagey encounter between these two teams, that is Bayern Munich and Borussia Dortmund. Both teams will be hoping that each other will drop crucial points on the road and then hopefully have an advantage for them in this particular encounter. Now, let's move away from the German Bundesliga. Let's talk about the Italian Serie A because Inter Milan, they keep dominating the Italian Serie A week in and then week out. They are currently top of the table. That is the Italian Serie A. The top scorer for the Italian Serie A is Lautaro Martinez of Inter Milan, and the most assists for the Italian Serie A has to do with Di Marco of Inter Milan. So Inter Milan are dominating everywhere in this particular matches. But then they have rivalries with the likes of AC Milan, Juventus, Napoli, Como, and Atlanta at the moment. So AC Milan will play away from home against Pisa in the Italian Serie A heading this weekend. And then a big one coming up, Como, they'll be playing against Fiorentina in the Italian Serie A. I mean, Como, for a team like Como and Cesc Fabregas, who happens to be the head coach, Como are really doing well at this moment in the Italian Serie A. They are currently in the semi-finals of the Coppa Italia, so they'll be facing Inter Milan in the semi-finals of the Coppa Italia. But this weekend, they will shift their attention to Fiorentina in this particular encounter. But then for Inter Milan, they'll also be facing Juventus in another big game heading this weekend. So Juventus will hope that to grab a maximum 3 points against an informed Inter Milan in this particular encounter. But let's see how things go well. Napoli, don't forget Napoli, Antonio Conte's Napoli, they will be at home against AS Roma in another big game heading into the Italian Serie A. But when you look at the current table of the Italian Serie A, it is getting interesting at this moment because Inter Milan after 24 games are top with 58 points, and then followed by AC Milan on the second position with 50 points. So AC Milan has a game in hand, so definitely this should be an advantage for AC Milan. Hopefully they could grab the maximum points at this moment. And then they are followed by Napoli, who happens to be the defending champions of the Italian Serie A. Napoli find themselves on the third position with 49 points, followed by Juventus on the fourth position with 46 points. And then AS Roma are also tied on the fifth position with 46 points alongside Juventus. They are followed by another incredible team, that is Cesc Fabregas, Como, at this moment here on the sixth position with 41 points. So this is how the top six table of the Italian Serie A looks like at this moment. But let's talk about the French League because PSG could be running away with maximum points this weekend as they face Stade Rennais away from home in the French League at this moment. For Olympique Marseille, after their 5-0 defeat to PSG, they will be hoping to bounce back in this particular encounter as they take on Strasbourg in the French League. And don't forget, AS Monaco will also be facing Nantes in another KG encounter in the French League. And then Paris FC, they will also be coming against Lens. I mean, Lens has also been one of the outstanding teams this season in the French League, being on the second position in the French League table at this moment. Don't forget, Hendrix Olympique Lyon will also be coming up against OGC Nice in another big encounter coming in. So when you look at the French League table, just like I said, this season has been a top one for teams that really want to catch up with PSG. PSG are top of the French League table with 51 points. They are followed by Lens with 49 points. And then Hendrix Olympique Lyon, they follow on its third position with 42 points. Same thing as Olympique Marseille with 39 points. And then Lille on the fifth position with 33 points. So this is how the table stands in the French League at this moment. So these are some of the matches that will be coming up from England. That is it. For England, it's going to be the Emirates FA Cup. This time around, they won't be playing their league matches this weekend. They will shift attention to the Emirates FA Cup fourth round. But for the rest of the league, that is the Spanish La Liga, the German Bundesliga, the Italian Serie A, and the French League, they will all resume respectively, with just England focusing on the Emirates FA Cup. So this is our Media Sports on YouTube and all our social media channels. You continue to share your thoughts with us on the Premier League, on the match fixtures that will be coming up this weekend. My name is Amos Mama Boy.